Okay, so basically we're going to put the new padding here on the doorpost area. Now you might still have some of your old remnants there too. If you want to keep that, you know, that's fine, but like I said, I always take off the old stuff and then clean up the surface, make sure it's nice and clean. So when you glue it, you don't want old glue working with new glue. It just kind of doesn't marry well together. So we're just going to get some new stuff. Get your 90 glue. I usually put it on low for this, so I don't want it splattering anywhere. I don't want the glue going outside the car and getting on top of the body, and you just got more cleaning up to do. So now this type of glue works like dry on dry in a way. So you glue the surface, glue the material, let it tack up a little bit, let it get dry, and then you put it on there. All right, so basically if you want to punch up a little closer here, see what I'm doing. Might want to wear your respirator now, you know. This stuff can be kind of evil. And basically I glued to the bottom here. I don't know if you can see that. To right around there. That's where this material is going to end. Keep working your way down. I like to kind of marry it real close to the grippers, just because you want the material to be posh, you know. It's got a nice, you know, surface to it. Go on the grippers a little bit, that's okay. It's actually probably a little better for you because you don't want the grippers to show through the material. So just kind of pat it up there. It's all good. That's it. So that's one. Now just do the other side. All right, so we're going to put the padding in the back window area here. Before I get here, I'm going to have my dad just put a bag around the back window, just because we don't want to spray. I'm going to be spraying some glue here. I don't want the glue going out the window and getting on the body of the car, of course. So I got myself a new blade. And I'm going to be putting this square piece right over here. Don't worry about the opening, we'll get to that. But I just want to start putting this material on the back window, because VW had the material all back here. They padded all their back window areas, you know, with all new with padding. So, you know, just again, to make the headliner look more like a pillow in a way, you know, make it look posh and comfortable looking. So, all right, so we're just going to spray this back headliner, back window area. Just make sure your nozzle's clean. Sometimes the glue gets all gunked up in there. You want to clean that out with your fingers, you know. Just get that out of there. So, just going to start spraying. Get up into the gripper areas too. You just want to surround this with a good amount of glue. Try to get it here too in the where the lip is, where the seal would sit, like right up in here too, you know. So I got enough glue on there. I don't have to go on the material itself. I'm just going to start putting it up there. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Let's just start shaping it around. Just massage it in. In essence, this is the way you're going to be kind of putting the back headliner piece in, but not this easy. You can give yourself a little room on the end over here where these grippers are. You might not want to, don't go all the way in the grippers, because we noticed last time when we did this, and then we glued the headliner in, the headliner kind of bunched up on the padding. So you got to be careful. Just kind of give it, you know, good maybe ½ inch from the grippers, and I think you should be all right. Okay. All right, so we'll just go outside the car now. There's a couple spots I couldn't get. I'll come out here and fix. But you can see here the material's got to get a little bit tighter to this lip here, and then down in here, if you want to take a peek over here. See, the material is not just reaching the lip yet. You want the material to end at the bottom of this ridge. So we're just gonna spray that and then go back on the inside of the car and start pushing it. This stuff will stretch good. So unlike the headliner, that's when we use our hair dryer a bit to kind of soften it. But this will grab up in here. If it doesn't stick just right away, it's okay. We're going to cut this window, and then we can always go back and fix it a little more. Just with your thumb, fingers, just kind of press it up into place, just so you know where to cut. So I'm going to get my razor now. Make sure you got a new blade so it cuts good. Find your ridge where the window opening is, that lip that sticks down, and just start. Okay. Where am I here? I'm good. Look at that, I missed. See, mistakes happen, no big deal. There we go. I want up cutting straight past. It's all good. Okay. And you just pull your circle out, and that's it. And you just go back, get the padding in straight. We look okay. Just fix this line here. That's gone. That's what's good about this felt material. It's very forgiving. You do make a cut in here, you make a mistake, you can kind of smooth it over and kind of hide the line where you cut so the headliner doesn't show it. But that's it. So we got the back window in. At least the padding for now. And we move. I'm going to cut this piece right here too. We don't need that. That's a little extra. Like you can already hear, if you knock on it, it doesn't have that tinny sound. It's got a nice thunk to it. So it's a good deadener. And that's what you want because the motor is right back here. So I also want to point out too, if you're doing a Survivor car and you still have some of the old padding in there that you want to keep for the luggage compartment, just pull it away a little bit because the headliner you want again to glue to the metal. You don't want to glue the headliner to the padding that's on this. Usually the 50s models, they had like some form of a horsehair type of a padding. You can usually get in there with your blade here that you could just kind of pry it away and get new or just leave it. The later style, in the 60s, they have some more jute material, which is kind of similar to this padding material, the material we're going to use on the roof. And they usually have that on here. But usually that stuff can come off with just your plastic high impact blades, here the putty blades, whatever you want to just get in there and yank it out. And I usually put new material in anyway. So, but yeah, you just want to make sure. Now sometimes I put down a deadener like Dynamat, or I have a video called for sound insulation on YouTube, and I use a product called Quick Roof that you can get from Home Depot. Same as Dynamat. You basically roll that stuff out. It's in like aluminum sheets, and underneath the sheet is a nice rubbery adhesive material. And basically, I roll that down here on the luggage area, and that stops the vibration. You might want to put that down now before you start putting the headliner down, but you can glue the headliner to that material because it's not a felt material; it's a solid material. So, all right. So we're going to start working up the pillars. All right. So what we're going to start with next, after we did the back window, we're going to proceed here, starting back here by the grippers, and we're going to work our way up this pillar here. And the first strip will probably come from the grippers to about here, and then we have a second strip to continue forward. But what I like to do is I like to put this in here. Again, it's a good deadener. The headliner is going to, hug this area, so you're going to want that padding behind there, and that's the reason why VW put that there to begin with. So just going to start here. Remember, take the glue off your nozzle here a little bit. and just start spraying up. Okay. Again, you really don't have to do dry on dry here. I just kind of put it on, put it into place, and it'll stick pretty well. But what I like to do is get it on the grippers here. I don't know if you can see that. Put the felt on the grippers. And now when you put this material on, you want the top of the material here where you cut to go to the top of the pillar. Don't go beyond it, don't go below it. You want it to be actually even with the lip here, with the ridge, the edge. Because again, you don't want imperfections to show through the headliner. If you go over, it's okay. You can always cut it with a razor later on. Okay, you can always pick it up. Just massage it down. Okay. Okay. They used to have a piece sticking right there, so we'll get that on there. We'll trim this a little bit better over here. No big deal, but all right, so we did this one side, you can then do it on the other side. Cool. All right, so we're going to continue on from here. I got this side done, so I'm just going to grab another strip and just kind of join it with this one and kind of line it up with this one. You know, we'll get rid of this seam, but then we're going to come over where the dome light comes in. Just go over it for now, and we're actually going to continue up to about here. If you follow me up this way, see, you're going to put the padding to this corner here of the gripper, diagonally up, and I'm actually going to cover the grippers as well, so at least the grippers don't show through the material. So the padding will actually hide the teeth marks, you know, so makes it look nice. Don't worry if there's any overspray anywhere. Like I said on the car, we'll just get some WD-40 later and get rid of it. Just keep working your way up. Okay, good. Okay, so I kind of joined this seam right here. Headliner won't show through that, so I think you're all right. Okay, now I'm going to start stretching the material a little bit down so I can cover the grippers. Just came a little too short on that. Okay, good. That's the good thing. That's what's nice about this material. It stretches, and you can fit it right. Okay. You got a section here where maybe you went a little too high above the pillar here. Like I said, you don't want this overlap going past the pillar line. You want this to be nice and smooth, so just get your razor blade and just kind of tap it off up top. You want that nice and uniform so you don't see any lumps, you don't get any binding going on up there with the headliner when you start gluing around. You want it to look nice and straight. Okay, cool. Here's the area at the end of the, right above the door, where you're going to have to cut the excess off here and kind of pull it back so it kind of goes on a diagonal. The headliner always goes from the gripper here, kind of diagonal back. You kind of see the line there. See where the old glue was. So basically what I'm going to do is just kind of set it up into place there, fold it back a bit, so you get kind of a triangular diagonal line sort of thing going, and just kind of cut that off, you know. Okay, yep, just like that. Okay, I'll cut the excess off here. I have to spray a little more glue. I'm overlapping a little bit down here too, past the grippers. You can see that. See these grippers here? The material's going a little past it, see? I have to trim that off, make sure it's straight with the grippers, the bottom of the grippers. So now I'm going to just cut some of the excess that's dangling down here below the grippers. You just want that, like I said, uniform. So I can feel the edge of the gripper here. I'm just going to cut this off and just go straight across. Yep, okay, good. That's fine. All right, so just do the same to the other side. Okay, so VW back in the day even used to put some padding right here. You can see some of the remnants of the old glue. The old oval that we cut out for the rear window, I'm just going to cut this in half and use it for both sides. Put a piece here and put a piece on the other side. And that's basically then it for this 1/4 inch padding. And then we'll go to the roof and put the thicker 1/2 inch padding up in there. All right, so let's get to that over here. I'm just going to kind of half this up. As you can see, it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be that uniform. No one's going to see it, the headliner's there, so I'm just going to cut a straight line. Well, hopefully I cut a straight line. Okay. And normally it was just something that kind of went here. I'll trim it afterwards, but basically it went right there, and I'll do some trimming later, but let me position it, and then we'll cut this over the wheel hump here. That's no big deal. You want the wheel hump clear because the headline is going to be gluing straight down to the wheel hump. So you want to make sure this is all clear and you don't have any padding there. We'll put padding on top of this hump and on the luggage area after the headliner's down. So let me just get a little more here. A lot of people ask me, what are these holes for in the back compartment here? Actually, when the guys were on the assembly line, they used to get their fingers in here to get to the molding that attaches to the outside of the car to put the little rubber boots on. Crazy. Little tidbit there. Okay, so just pull that away. That's fine. And I'll probably cut it away from here. Just to give myself a little more. Okay, stuck. All right, just do the same to the other side. Just trim it away. Make it look nice and uniform. And now you got some good padding there. All right, we're going to cut the center square section in the top roof above the pillars. VW usually had those cut in different sections, you know, like they maybe cut we're going to make one big long piece to fill the whole inner roof. So it's usually about 38 inches wide by, what was it, 59? Yeah. 59 inches long. That's for the oval window bugs. You just double check, use a tape measure, go in there above the back window up to the front pillar, the front header bow, and then side to side, just to see the width. You could always trim it later on after it's glued in, but we're just going to cut this now. And okay. Okay, so we're just going to, I'm just, you know, punching in the padding a little bit tighter in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just using my high impact plastic those blades that I was telling you about in the beginning, to just get it nice and tight in there so we can cut this off. And again, these blades you can pick up from Harbor Freight. I think that pack of 5 for like $6, $7. These are really valuable. So just get that in there nice and tight. Now when we cut this, I'll tell you why I'm so close to the pillars. Okay, start back here. Okay, the reason why I cut it so close to the pillar, a lot of people ask me, why you go so close, is when I show you the top square piece that goes in, there's plastic strips that get tucked behind these pillars here. So a lot of times the new material, depending on where you get the material from, whether it's SoFine or TMI or Wolfsburg West, wherever, sometimes the material gets tight and sometimes the measurements aren't always exact. So when I sometimes would put these in, they would get so tight. So when it's inside the cabin here and it's from, you slip the strip in back here and the strip in on this side, a lot of times it gets so tight that the plastic strip that's on the headliner flips backwards and starts to come out. This padding here, this close, will actually prevent the headliner from actually coming out from behind here. So that's the reason why we go tight here. Normally they didn't ever have that in the factory. They were actually cut a little bit shorter from here. But I leave that here just because it'll hold that plastic strip inside this. And I'll show you that later on when we're putting this in. You'll understand it a little bit better, but that's why we do that. So. And so we did it all around the perimeter here. Up here, back window. Same thing. Usually where it pops out, that strip, is usually the back window area or the front, because it's just so tight from front to back. Usually the sides are not as bad, but that's about it. So the whole roof now is sealed, is insulated, and it's going to really quiet your ride down, So we do this for all our cars actually. Okay.